All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I think I can squeeze in one more video today. So I'm so behind on the viewer requests. I'm really sorry, but I'm gonna try to get through as many as I can. You know that, all right? But we're gonna look at GOEV. We're gonna look at CEI one more time, and then we're gonna take a quick look at Nikola. If I can throw MBOT in, I will. I'll throw MBOT in as well. So we'll do those four today, okay? I actually really think this is an interesting one, and truth be told, I wasn't going to do another video, but this one caught my eye, all right? And look, I know it's really easy to look at today and be like, damn, I mean, that's almost a 10% loss, right? I know 7's a little closer to 5 than 10, but yeah, no one wants to lose that. That's an ugly red candle. I know we lost the line, but man, this 8 moving average ain't looking that bad. And we are just a hump away from red, maybe green. You know what I mean? So there's some interesting things to talk about here for sure. All right. CEI, on my last video, I said it smelled like a pump and dump. You know, it didn't dump as hard as I think I expected, let alone, you know, just didn't run at least, right? So I think I would say that I was more accurate than inaccurate, but I think it's well looking at CEI because, again, like I said, it didn't dump as hard as I thought. So maybe that means it's trying to hold this and do a second run. So we'll take a look at that. Look, Nikola. I'm not sure if Nikola did well today or not. I know I looked at that one in Rivian. I know one did well, one did not do well. I know neither did horrible, whichever did poorly, and neither did like fantastic, right? But excuse me, again, I think things are still relatively okay. I'll flash the NASDAQ. NASDAQ just looks a little iffy, but you know, as long as NASDAQ's okay, everything's okay. If NASDAQ slips, we're just going to see how bad it slips and how things react, right? And then MBOT, look, again, it just seems like that 200 moving average is the most likely place that it's going to go. So just my opening thoughts there, but before we go any further, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, share this video on the internet, comment good or bad. Look, I'm not here to hate on you. If you disagree with me, I would love for you to let me know I'm wrong, you know, versus my money go down the toilet or like we miss a run, right? So educated people sharing thoughts and opinions is a very good thing, all right? So look, let's get into it. And I said a lot of this in the opening thoughts, but just in case you fast forward up to here, look, I know today looked really bad, okay? No one wants to lose 7%, okay? I even see this. Yeah, that doesn't look that fantastic, but I'll be honest, I think that there's still some really good happening on this chart, all right? First and foremost, we're still over the 8 moving average, okay? And it's not like we're over it in like what seems like a horizontal, like golden cross after golden cross after golden cross, you know what I mean? Like this is a nice uptrending 8 moving average, okay? And it definitely did it before, but then it quickly kind of teetered, and then obviously like this is still consistently holding it for what now is, I mean, 1, 2, 3 weeks, right? Obviously tomorrow will be really important, but I'm still liking this 8 moving average. I'm liking the curve up on the 20 moving average as well. It seems like the 2 lines might be going up. Again, we've seen it before only to lose it, like only to watch it fail. I'm not here pretending I don't see any of this, right? But I think I still like what I see here, okay? Again, one of the big things to talk about is basically this gap right here, okay? Do not underestimate the 200 moving average, right? This purple line right here. What is this thing at? It's at 94. That said, red. Hopefully just basically from right here, green, right? Like that's something we love hunting for. And maybe you can argue down here. Again, I have my line up here and I'm going to keep it. And then really after that, there's still another one, right? So a lot can happen here, all right? And just zooming out a bit, it seems like we've taken this 100 moving average, because I'm gonna kind of focus in right here. Can I do it that well? Like even right here, we never really take it that well. This is kind of the last time we really do it, right? So it does seem like today I guess I need one more green candle. I think I got a little excited. Give me one more green candle. Let me believe we've actually taken the 100 moving average. Let's hold the 8 moving average and really look at where the 8 average is. It was actually the next thing I was going to talk about. We're still over 50% this big candle. If you watch my videos, you know that's a pretty important thing to me, right? Like, let's maintain half of this big one, and we still are. We're still, I mean, it looks like we've actually maintained like 2/3 of it. You know what I mean? So I'm still liking this. Okay, again, I know this doesn't look good, but hey, where were we? We were at a 79, needed to come down a little bit. We're at 69. Maybe we come down just a little bit more into like this like 50-40 range, but even coming down a little more might mean just coming down to 64, if not 63, 62. Hopefully 64 is the lowest, because again, I don't really want to lose the 8 moving average. I'll be real honest with you, okay? I would not mind losing the 8, bouncing on the 100 and going up. If I was going to lose it, that wouldn't be bad, and really the distance between these two isn't that bad. But again, it's all about breaking this. If I'm going to put a money line, I think that's... all right. The safest one, and again, there is no such thing as safe, right? But 78 cents, I think, would be the safest one. I think it could very easily be 75. At that point, I think you're just splitting hairs, and I would go with 78. I would set the alert at 78. I can't do it right now. I need to delete a couple ones, but yeah, set the alert to 78. Hopefully we ride that up to 90 something. Hopefully 90 something breaks. We ride that to 130 something, and then again, if that breaks, there's still a lot of climbing that this thing can do. But yeah, again, not the prettiest, but not the ugliest. Where are we on the weekly? It's an interesting weekly. Look at this thing. This thing has not been over the 20 in a long time, all right? Basically, there was something here, but once and nothing, once and nothing, once and not quite nothing. All right, let's see what happens on Friday, and then again, if we can break 70, 75, 78, those were kind of the numbers I was talking about. Again, this one's saying we might come all the way up to like 125, right? I think, again, keep it simple. Let's start with 90, then we'll start talking about that 125, 130 something, right? But I still like this. I do, and again, honestly, when I saw this chart, it's what made me want to make one more video. All right. Let's talk about CEI, and I think this is actually a good view. Let's start right here. Obviously, the big story was this day, right, when we dropped nearly a 50% thing, but I called it a pump and dump, and yeah, I mean, look at where we're at now. I think a lot of people expected this thing to start running. Clearly, we're, you know, basically 20% lower than where we were, right? Going from $1 to 80 cents, okay? What was the problem? Sorry, I zoomed in again before I talked about it. It's this 50 moving average. Just look at this view alone. I can even keep zooming out, damn, keep zooming out till here, all right? This 50 red line right here has basically been an impenetrable force. Okay, and yes, we break it once on a single candle, but I don't care about a single day. I'm here to put my money in sustained uptrends, right? That's what makes swing trading easy. And yeah, volume pumps up, literally does this like crazy 20x thing, and look at that, we're back down to where it was, right? So this is a classic indicator right here. And again, I think more than anything, it was just this 50 moving out. You cannot underestimate these 5 lines. These are computer generated lines that I have absolutely no control over. You know what I mean? And when you zoom out and you see so much inability to break, come on, right? Like it makes sense. And today's kind of a scary day, all right? Ironically, I talked about the same 7% candle on the last video. I don't know if you watched it or not, on the GOEV, or sorry, not the last video, the last ticker, but this is a scarier one because this is now well below 50% candle. This is making me believe we're actually going to come down here. This not looking good right here. This never crossed into the positive. And again, volume dumped hard, right? So to me, it seems more likely that we're going to come down to 73 cents than it does we're going to come back up to the 50 moving average, let alone break it and try to run from there, right? But, you know, maybe depending on your tolerance, you can set an alert for 85 cents, All right, 85 cents will at least get you over the 8 moving average, give you a reason to maybe play a run to 93, and then again, yeah, from there, if it runs, you're in. So maybe 85, 86 is worth it. Again, to me, it seems like we're heading down here. So this looked like a pump and dump, and again, before the pump and dump, all we were doing was trading well under the 8, not even really touching the 20, right? Like hit the 8, fail, hit the 8, fail, hit the 8, fail, hit the 8, fail, hit the 8. This one ran, right? But I'm still not liking it looking at this now. The best potential case I think would be, obviously the best potential case is this thing goes up, right? But you can hit the 20 down here and then maybe bounce back. I think that's kind of the hope. Otherwise, I think we're talking about going back into all-time lows. So not too much for me to really say on CEI. And look, if you disagree with me, throw it in the comments, all right? I'm not here to like hate on your thoughts. Like I'm more than happy to have a good conversation, but this isn't a good weekly, right? I mean, weekly is just struggling with the 8, never even touching the 20. And again, like I said, it just, this on my last video, I called pump and dump. Like I said, I think I was expecting it to be more down here by now. It's really, really doing a good job holding this. It's really doing a good job relatively of holding the 8 moving average. Obviously, today sucked, right? But, I mean, it came down, kind of did a bounce, kind of did at least this, like, let me run parallel with it thing. But, yeah, today, like I said, I think losing it as much as it did today just has me a lot worried that we're coming down here. So, CEI. Okay. Nikola, let's come to Nikola. Okay, this is the one that came down. Like I said, 5% is not a wild number. What is this thing doing post-market? Nice, it's kind of recovering a little bit. Again, nothing significant. You know I don't care much about post-market, but I was just curious. But look, we have now golden crossed the 8 on the 200. When a little one goes above a big one, that's a really good thing. I mean, the name alone says golden, right? So, 8 still going up, 20 is still going up, 50 still curving up, as long as we do not lose the 200 moving average. This is still good to go, okay? Maybe we come as low as like 225, maybe we come as low as $2, okay? Obviously, that's not really a good thing from this 240 that we're sitting at, right? That's roughly speaking a 20% loss. So I'm not trying to like, you know, like that. It could be a hard drop, believe me, I know it. However, if you're holding on, there's still reason to hold on. You know what I mean? It's just look at the just look at the chart. It's not necessarily like a boom 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 boom. Like it's had a little bit of some noisiness, right? And it's used the lines to bounce. And you know, it's a matter of what your game is, okay? Are you willing to hold a 20% loss, maybe even average up a little bit right here, average down, however you want to call it, right? In my head, it's average up because you're still like, you know, you're working your way up. But yeah, maybe use this as a point. Maybe you just completely hit eject if it keeps going down and then re-up right here, or maybe re-up right here, or maybe right here, right? Maybe it's only 232. But yeah, it seems like this is going to come down a bit. And again, like, let's look at this RSI, 87, 87, 86. You know, like it was days and days in that high 80s. It makes sense that we're going to come down. But look, the last time we came down, this is really the lowest we went, right? And just past that, it's not, yeah, that would be a bad drop. But actually, I could see this holding the 60s, maybe even the 70s right here, you know? So I don't think we'll lose this. That's a bad drop, pending on how you feel about it. You know what I mean? So just things to consider. But overall, again, I'm going to say it one more time, golden cross right there, 8 still going up, 20 still going up. I'm seeing the 50 curve up. Those are all really good things. This is a good weekly. It's an interesting weekly. Okay, we are at a really critical point. Obviously, the 50 moving average on the weekly. As we zoom out, damn, look at this. Hit once, fail. Hit 2, fail. Hit 3, fail. Hit 4. What's it going to be? Is 4 going to break it? You could almost argue that's 5. This is kind of number 1. This is a fake number 2. This is another number 3. It's a 4. It's a 5. This is actually a number 6. Damn. Maybe this is the one that does it. This is still looking relatively good. We're getting really close to the 0, and that's still diverging. That's beautiful volume. Maybe this breaks the 50 and makes us believe we're running to the 100, right? Just lots of red, 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 red after that line, right? So, Interesting place. Tomorrow is going to be really important for Nikola, actually. I would love it if it broke the 50. I would. I think as long as we're just well over 225, like 230s, that would be cool. That would be cool for sure. And actually gives us reason to believe next week is. Sorry, I keep going back and forth. Again, this does look like a high RSI. I know that, dude, these are still diverging enough to where, like, there's not even a curve just yet. Yeah, volume's a bit low, but I still like these two, and I'm curious to see if Friday can close over that 50 or not. So, Nikola, not too bad. Not too bad at all. MBOT, let's just do this one real quick. Rough, okay? It's just... bad things happen under the 8 and the 20. This is definitely where it lost the 8. And again, what looked like a good run to the 200 and break is starting to look a little bit like a fail. The cool thing is the moving averages were just so tight that it wasn't that hard to drop down. You know what I mean? I've seen very devastating hits down here and just drops, right? I think I just covered one. Damn, I can't think of the top of my head which one it was, but nonetheless, look, we're now here, right? We've talked about here, right? So it's how these moving averages work. This 50 moving average very easily could be the last place it goes down, and then it starts to go up. My concern, it seems like the 8's curving down. It seems like the 20's curving down, right? Like, I don't like these two curving down. It does make me believe we're going to lose this, and it, you know, makes me believe we're going to come here. We're starting to get to a really low RSI, and we're actually at the 0 for the MACD. So I don't know if maybe this is also where it could be a turnaround point. Where are we on the weeklies? Damn, this weekly is actually kind of saying we might be coming down at 215, because again, lose this thing. This is kind of the rejection I was talking about. Again, this is weekly, so it's taking a little bit lower, but generally speaking, hit the line and fall relatively quick is what I would have expected. This hit the line and just very much dragged on, right? But bad things will happen if 220 is lost, okay? Let me just zoom out. Yeah, dude, look at this. What's that RSI? RSI is at 13 right here. 16, 20. Let's go the other way. 19, 16, 17, 8. This thing has lived in the teens and low 20s. Man, I'm not going to lie. I think this could hit 187. Maybe 195. I do. And clearly it would be horrible if that was lost, because then you're talking about a gap down, right? These next two moving averages have so much pressure. And you look, you know, I'm not here to fear, like give you fear and like make you sell. I'm never going to tell you what to do with your money, right? I'm just giving you my honest perspective. I don't know if these two lines are going to hold. I don't. I don't like what that 8 and the 20 is doing. Yeah, I'm not happy here. Good luck if you're still in. Let me know if you disagree, but I think there's more reason to believe we're gonna lose the 100 and die than we're gonna break the 200 and fly. I do. So just be safe out there, all right? Let me know if you disagree one more time. But yeah, thank you.